All right, let's talk about this because I know you've been there. You spend hours, maybe even days, making your resume absolutely perfect. Every single bullet point is a masterpiece. You find that dream job, you hit submit, and then crickets. Just silence. So where did that beautiful resume actually go?
Yeah, that feeling, you are not making it up. It's a super common experience for pretty much anyone applying for jobs online. It feels like your application just got sucked into some digital void, but the truth is, it probably just hit a wall. A digital gatekeeper you didn't even know was there.
And there's our culprit, the Applicant Tracking System, or ATS for short. See, before your resume ever gets seen by a real live human being, a hiring manager, it has to pass this software's test first. And for most online applications today, this is hurdle number 1.
So, what is this thing really? And, more importantly, what does it actually want from your resume? Because figuring this out is the absolute key to making sure your application gets seen by the right people. Okay, so at its most basic, an ATS is a filtering tool. That's its whole job. It scans through hundreds, sometimes thousands, of resumes looking for specific keywords, skills, and job titles to sort and rank all the candidates. Its main goal is to save recruiters a ton of time by just weeding out applications that don't seem like a good match right off the bat.
Now here's the thing you have to understand. This system is incredibly literal. It's not smart, it just follows rules. So you really have to think of it as a very, very picky robot. If you give it a resume in a format it can't properly read, it doesn't try to figure it out, it just tosses it aside. Your amazing qualifications don't mean a thing if the robot can't understand them.
And that brings us to the main event, the file format itself. This is honestly one of the most important choices you'll make when you save your resume, and it all comes down to the great debate, PDF versus DOCX.
So, on one side you have the PDF. It's the designer's dream, right? It looks so clean, it locks in all your careful formatting, nothing moves. But, and trust me, this is a huge but, some older ATS systems really struggle to parse it. And parse is just a fancy word for read and understand. The software might just see your beautiful resume as one big flat picture instead of actual text. Total mess. But then on the other hand, you've got the good old DOCX. Now, it might seem kind of basic, but that's why it's the robot's favorite. It's a simple text-based format that pretty much every single ATS out there can read no problem.
So you've got to ask yourself, who are you making this resume for? A human designer or the robot gatekeeper? For the absolute best chance of getting past that first hurdle, which one do you think is the clear winner?
And here it is. The DOCX file is, hands down, your safest bet. Look, while a lot of modern, up-to-date ATS platforms can handle PDFs just fine, you never ever know what system a company is using. It could be brand new or it could be 10 years old. Submitting a DOCX file just completely eliminates that risk of a parsing error and gives you the best possible chance of getting through that first scan.
But wait, it's not just about the file extension. There are a few other really common formatting traps that can get your resume kicked out by the ATS before you even have a shot.
Okay, let's break these down. First up, never ever ever submit a scanned resume. To the ATS, that's just a photograph. There's no text for it to read. Next, watch out for tables and columns. The ATS reads strictly from left to right, top to bottom. So that beautifully organized 2-column resume, it's going to turn into a jumbled, nonsensical paragraph of text. And finally, keep your super important info, like your name and contact details, out of the header and footer. Some systems are literally programmed to just ignore those sections completely.
I know. This can feel like a lot to worry about. But honestly, it all comes down to one very simple, very easy to remember rule of thumb.
That's it. That's the whole secret. When it comes to the ATS, simpler is always safer. So forget the crazy fonts, the fancy layouts, the logos, the columns, and the tables. Focus on a clean, clear, single-column resume that uses a standard font and, of course, a compatible file type. Your goal is to make it easy for the robot to read so that a human finally gets the chance to see how awesome you are.
So go on, take a good look at that resume you've been sending out. Is it built to impress a person or is it built to get past the gatekeeper? Now that you know the secret, are you sure your resume is speaking the right language?